the Gators, the projection of their over-under, the Vegas odds came out. 5.5 is the total. One of the guys who watches the show, I'm not going to put him out there because he let me know what he was going to make his bet. He's going to Vegas in a couple of weeks, and he's like, hey, if you want, I'll put a bet in for you. He's putting some cheddar down. Talking some cheddar down that the Gators are going to win over 5.5. He lost the bet last year, he said. I think it was 6.5.
How much?
He said
how
5.
Much he's putting down?
He said $5,000, possibly 10, depending on how his trip goes in Vegas. That's a hell of a stack to throw on a season. So 5.5, it's huge. We'll talk about it. What's up, Nat? That's a big one, Steve. I'll let you take it. Do you think 5.5 is fair?
Gosh, that is a tough ass schedule. I think it's going to take about. God, I think it's 2-2 coming out of your first 4. 5.5. I think you win 6 games. I think there's a game that you guys win that you didn't expect. Coming 2-2 out of mid-October. Yeah, I think you guys. I think you guys get to 7 wins. I'll say 7 wins. I'll say 7 wins.
Yeah, there's probably 3 to 4 guaranteed wins on the schedule. If you look at FPI and all that other kind of stuff, I think we're favored 90% to win 3 or 4 of them. We had this discussion in Gators Breakdown Plus chat earlier before the show. But bringing up the strength of schedule, it does say that Florida is tied with Houston for the 6th toughest schedule in the country based on opponents' win percentage. So that is a very, very brutal schedule. I think we could.
We're favored by 99%.
It depends on quarterback play, but I think we can win.
Good.
I think we can win more than 5.5. So I would take the bet, but I don't think I would put down like $10,000 on it. That's a lot of money. But
we're favored by 99. We're at 99% favorite to win McNeese, 98 for Charlotte, 91 for Vanderbilt. So there's 3 we could say guaranteed wins. 66 for Arkansas. So
I think it goes down to like 60%.
That's 4. 60% for South Carolina. That's 5. I mean, if you're going with the favorite, right? The odds there, and then 57% for Missouri. There's your 6th game. Every other game, the rest of the games, LSU's 20%, Georgia's 13%, Florida State's 46%, Kentucky's 49%, so 50 to pick them. Which I think honestly that these things will probably change, but I think you could. I think we're gonna. It's at Kentucky, but I think that team's a little bit. They're a little flat. They're more flatter than we are. If I had to say so myself. Tennessee 42%. So we're behind everywhere else. But 6 games, it looks like there's a lot, not a lock, but we're favored for at least 6 of them. So that 5.5 seems a bit low. But I gotta say, look, Vegas don't miss. I don't know what the hell unless you're Will Levis.
Not all the time.
Vegas.
Not all the time. Vegas has been wrong on our win predictions quite a bit every year. Yeah. Win predictions wise.
Yeah, they're pretty good for the most part. I will say, like, for like horse betting and all that stuff to me is just hype. It's irrelevant. So I thought, obviously Kentucky Derby was this past weekend, and I'm looking at the odds. I'm like, they're just going based on what they think. It's an animal. I got no clue who's the favorite to win here. But look, based on schedule, things like that, I think 5.5 is a pretty favorite. If you're a Gator fan, you got to look at that and go, that's a lock. But I know a lot of fans were looking at it last year thinking that 7 was a lock. So if Too Legit, who absolutely hates the Gators, says 6 wins is a lock, then that's enough. That's all you need to win the 5.5. So,
well, based on talent profile,
he's always right.
By the talent profile, we have the 14th ranked talent profile in the nation right now. And Georgia, let's see, A&M, we don't play those. LSU, we only have 2 teams on our schedule that have a talent profile more than
higher than us,
and that's Georgia, that's LSU.
Interesting,
higher than us. So
very interesting.
If you go by talent, wise, okay, maybe we should win, but I mean,
so that tells me like that Vegas doesn't trust Billy as much as we do. If the talent's there, but. Right? I mean, that's how I'm looking at that. What else are you gauging? What else are you utilizing to gauge that win percentage? Graham Mertz? But again, he's part of the talent pool that we just said we're 14th in. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you go by talent profile, I mean, you can go by a lot of metrics and kind of look at it and kind of do your own science with it, which I haven't done yet. I actually want to, but I don't see us going under 5.5. I just don't see it.
Well,
But
80, and
I mean, it just
ESPN
depends on quarterback play. If you get decent quarterback play and you can run the football, we're winning more than 5.5.
and ESPN has us to win 6 games, 82% chance to win 6 games. So a little bit of a back and forth there on controversy.
Yeah.
So we're also Utah's favored by 10. When last year was a 3.5 favorite, now they're favored by 10. Now I will say, look, that I don't disagree with that. If Cameron Rising plays, which that's still kind of up in the air, I see that because last year, in my opinion, we played 12 on 11. Playing in the swamp was a massive factor against Utah last year, and now we're going to Utah, and everything we smoked about, we yelled about the humidity, it being hot, it being the swamp. It's flipping now back to Utah where you're playing in high altitude. It's not the same energy as a swamp by any stretch, but you're going into a hostile environment who probably people aren't too happy with how things were handled with us last year. Definitely got a chip on their shoulder on how that game went. It definitely impacted their possibilities of being in the playoff. So this game means something. It's a little bit of a micro rivalry because of how last year panned out and just the excitement. So it's gonna be a dogfight, and I think Utah's gonna come out swinging for sure.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, they say that when it comes to home field advantage from a gambling standpoint, that they automatically give you at least 2.5 to 3 points, depending on your actual advantage, right? So, like, Death Valley, pick one, LSU or Clemson, you're going to get an automatic +3. Now, Utah, I don't know how Vegas feels about the Utah home field advantage, but so you have to think that they're automatically getting a 2.5 at the absolute least. If they're saying it's a 10-point game, that's Vegas giving Utah a win by 7, and then that 2.5 being the flux from the home field advantage. So I look, if I'm Florida going into that game and Vegas is only favoring Utah by 10, and then you're really looking at it like it's a 7-point game when you look at the natural home field advantage that they give you. Then you have Cam Rising kind of up in the air with whether or not that knee holds up and whether or not he's ready to play game 1. Do they put him out there even if he is? Are they willing to risk the rest of their season in the Pac-12 if he's 85 to 90%? Are they willing to do that with a defense that likes to blitz a lot? Maybe not. Maybe they hold him out and take the L on a non-conference game. There's a lot of variables, but I don't think the 10-point spread right now means as much as it looks. In the middle of the season, a 10-point spread I think means
a little
more.
A little more disrespectful. Yeah, and honestly, it's kind of time to get your bets in because I think Georgia's favored by like 20 in every game.